Well, it looks like I am live, and it looks like we have 2 people in the room, so I would be ever so grateful if you would identify yourselves. And just to clarify things, my name is David Browning. This is a Topic Tuesday. Oh, hi, Sarah. I'm glad to see you. This is a Topic Tuesday where I talk about selected topics for a little while, and then we usually get off track and talk about whatever we want to talk about. But today's topic has to do with, hey, Granny D, glad to see you. Today's topic has to do with this 10 questions meme that has been going around, and I was tagged in somebody's post about a 10 questions about crochet. Hey, Tiger Dragon Girl, glad to see you. So I thought that would be what we would talk about today. But while we are still gathering, we'll just take care of, basic things and general questions like what's on your hook and what's in your cup and where are you and all of that sort of thing. What's for dinner tonight? And trim, don't I? How bad do I look? That's not a question that you should answer. Hi, Nixie Pixie. So anyway, here we are, and oh, hi, Butterfly, glad to see you. So we're talking about what's on your hook and what's in your cup and how your day is going. Oh, rainy South Carolina? Well, Gail, in Wilmington, it's still sunny here, so I don't know what part of South Carolina you're in. Hi, Silver Fox. Glad to see you. I'm seeing names that are new to me, which is a very good thing. I'm glad to see you, and you're all very welcome, of course. Anyway, Granny is finishing the knitted baby blanket today. Oh my gosh, is that the one you've been talking about for like about 5 years now? That's amazing. Oh, Granny, I finished my moss stitch project. I need to take pictures and post on Instagram with that. Excuse me. I didn't sleep as well last night as I might have. Sunday night I slept remarkably well, and so I don't know if that affected the way I slept last night because my body didn't necessarily want to go to sleep. Hi, PJ Stelfo. You're making scrunchies, wraps, and a blanket. Oh, good for you with the reading glasses. Raining in Copenhagen or Copenhagen. I'm sure I didn't say that very well. Oh, Saren, you're doing Tunisian? I've always had mixed feelings about Tunisian, but I just recently did a pattern that incorporated Tunisian with traditional together, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. I'm working on modifying that pattern so that I can make other things with it. So it hasn't been published. Anyway. Oh, Granny D says she's working on a separate one. If you all don't know, Granny D and I went to college at the same place at the same time, and we didn't know each other, and it was a very small college. But we had friends in common. Um, and actually, Granny D, I didn't tell you this, just this morning I reached out to one of our friends in common and asked if she remembered you, and she said, "Oh, yes, very well." And I said, "Well," I told her that I didn't remember you from college days, but that you have become a very good friend in the YouTube yarn community. Nixie Pixie says, I finished my purse minus some embellishments, starting the second one to check your pattern and make corrections. Speaking of patterns, well, actually, one reason I haven't made photos of the moss stitch, the Granny D moss stitch thingy project that I did is that I really feel like it needs, it's a shawl, but I really feel like it needs the sort of a clutch that we saw old ladies wear back before we realized we are now ourselves old ladies. Um, but it turned out well. I'm pleased with it. So I need to take pictures of that. I'm looking at it. It's on the other side of the room, as if you can see it. Can't you? It's over there. Can't you see it? Actually, what you can see is one of the hats that I made with leftover yarn from the poncho that I put on Instagram just last week. And I have a pattern that is ready for testing. And if anyone wants to test this pattern, please send me an email. And I would be glad to supply you with this pattern. The most important thing is just reading through the pattern and telling me whether it is understandable or not. I sometimes have that thing where I don't know, I elaborate things so much in an effort to make them clear that I actually make them more muddy. So I want to be sure that my intentions are clearly understood in that pattern. Oh, I'm so sorry for yawning. Let's see. Change purses. Oh, you bought 2 clasps? Oh, yes. I made a little purse with a crocodile stitch, just as an exercise, really. And I had, actually, at the time, I had a perfect yarn for it. And it was a Bag-O-Day pattern. And I think it had a button clasp. But actually, it turned out rather well. If you go to my Instagram and scroll back probably a year and a half, you would see it. Oh. Okay, well, Søren, please send me an email at the email that is in the description to this. And anyone else who wants to take a look at my pattern, send me an email. And we'll be good. Where was I now? I'll bet Bag-O-Day has a tutorial for it. Oh, I'm sure she has several tutorials for change purses. I'm quite sure of it. In fact, that's how she started. She was doing a bag, a new bag pattern every day. That's where her name came from. But then she branched out into other things, and now it's more than just bags. But she's known by that name. In the same way that I am known in some circles. Well, For one thing, I'm known as Bearded Yarn Dudes, even though there's only one of me now. And I'm also known in some circles as pagerbear, even though I no longer work with the typesetting language pager. And whether I'm actually a bear is up for debate. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, Nightbot has kindly pointed you toward my Hat Not Hate contest, where I invite subscribers to this channel. Did I mention I want you to subscribe? Have you noticed this sign behind me? That actually came from Brenda the Newbie Crocheter. Well, she and her husband sell these things. Her husband does this kind of woodwork pretty much as a hobby because he has a very successful business, but he does woodwork for fun. Anyway, so I got this subscribe sign from Brenda the Newbie Crocheter. And also, one more thing. Normally, I would end this live stream at 3 o'clock and ask everyone to go over to see Brenda the Newbie Crocheter because her live stream begins at 3 o'clock on Tuesdays. But she told me earlier today that she's not feeling well and will not be going live at 3 o'clock. So it is entirely possible that we will go longer than an hour. It just depends. I might still cut it off in an hour, but it just depends upon how we're going. Hi, Kim. Glad to see you. Let's see. Granny. Let's see. Oh, hi, Becky. Glad to see you. Lurking is just fine. Oh, one more thing about Brenda is that even though we're not going over there to see her live stream today, she's not having one today, I would still suggest you go over there because she has a raffle going on with some really nice prizes. Oh, I'm so sorry. I slept rather poorly last night. But Brenda has a raffle going on with some nice prizes. So let me see if I can activate this darn Bluetooth keyboard again and put up the link. Oh, hi, Sabrina. I'm so glad to see you. Yay. We love Sabrina. Oh, Kim has already bought a few tickets in Brenda's a raffle. And oh yeah, Dragon Girl says she's totally fangirled today because Dana, our friend Dana, creatively created crochet, was on the She Show, which is a Facebook Live show, and Shira, I can't remember her last name, Shira, or she, does this live stream on Facebook every day at 12 o'clock. And she represents Lion Brand Yarns. And she actually herself was the originator of the Hat Not Hate phenomenon. And for those of you who do not know, I do have a Hat Not Hate contest going on because I have quite a substantial number of hats ready to send off to Hat Not Hate. But in this contest of mine, I am inviting subscribers. You have to be a subscriber. I'm inviting subscribers to guess how many hats I wind up with by a certain deadline in order to actually calculate everything and then actually send it off so that it would be received in time. Oh! And the secondary contest is to figure out how much blue yarn I will have left over. That one is a little more difficult because I really can't say what I'm starting with. When I created the contest, I already had 25 hats, but I can't say how much yarn I'm starting with. I can't say that I will not receive more blue yarn, either from gifts or any other source. So that is particularly hard to predict. So that might be a bigger gamble. But I have reached out to other YouTubers and creators for help in prizes for these contests, and people have responded quite generously. A number of people have given patterns. I had already determined certain bits of yarn that I had been gifted with that I would pass on, just passing on the love. And then I had a surprise box yesterday that I'll tell you more about tomorrow in my Wednesday free-for-all that gave me more yarn to contribute to the prize giveaway. But I would encourage you, Nightbot will at some point, well, has already, but will continue to post the link to my Hat on Hate contest. I would encourage you to go and look at that, but not until after you're done here. Or you could click Alt-Tab or whatever it takes on your keyboard so that you open it in a different tab. In any case, I've just been blathering on and on and on. And what have I missed? Oh, yes. Tiger Dragon Girl agrees that the She Show is wonderful. Hi, Pat Dancer. Let's see. Kim says, yes, Dana did wonderfully. Sabrina, Kim. Okay, then. So, anyway, the topic for today, I've been blathering all along. Connie, also known as Just Another Stitch, created this list of questions, and she tagged me. It's not the original list of 10 questions that Crystal at Bag O' Day created, and it's not the list of 10 questions relating to hooks that someone else created, and it's not the list of 10 non-yarny things that other people have created. This is specific to crochet. So what I need to do is just, okay, I've got the list of questions up on my screen. I don't have you up on my screen, so I'm just looking, I'm going back and forth, really. Okay, question number 1, how long have I been crocheting? I've been crocheting in earnest for about 5 years now, although I learned when I was about 10 years old at my grandmother's elbow. I picked it up again about 5 years ago. My partner at the time had already become quite an expert at knitting, largely due to my efforts, trying to divert him from another hobby that I found more annoying. But he became quite an expert at knitting and suggested that we become a bi-stitchual couple, if you will forget the expression. So it's been about 5 years. Let's see. What is the next question? And please feel free to answer these questions yourselves. 2, how did you learn to crochet and or knit? Well, as I say, I first learned it at my grandmother's elbow, but I learned the very, very, very basics. When I picked it up again, I really learned it from YouTube. And I would have to say, I would have to give quite a lot of the credit to the crochet crowd because I learned so much from those videos. There are a lot of other YouTube channels, including Fiber Spider, Bag O' Day. I could go on and on. Um, um, who influenced me and taught me many, many things. But it is my grandmother and crochet crowd, primarily. Okay. Hi, Elizabeth. I'm glad to see you. I'm sorry you're at work, but some people like work. I don't understand that myself. Number 3, what made you want to learn to crochet and or knit? Well, Saren says he learned bobbin lace making from YouTube. I would actually like to learn that myself. There are some great instructors out there in the thread craft tube. We'll have to talk, Saren. For those of you unaware, Saren and I have known each other for many, 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 many years on other online channels, long before I started a YouTube channel. Even though we've never met in person, we've been friends for a very long time. Well, hi, Barbara. How is that little corner of Kentucky? Pat learned crochet by teaching yourself from a small booklet. Oh, that's great. That is very good. That is very good. Let's see. Oh, I didn't answer number 3. What made me want to learn to crochet and knit? Oh, hi, Liz. Glad to see you. What made me want to learn to crochet? It's hard to say. I mean, when I was 10 years old, it was just wanting to hang out at the elbow of my grandmother. And then, like 5 years ago, it was like a creative outlet. I don't know. It's really hard to say. I don't know that I have an answer for that. Gail says she learned the old-fashioned way from books and magazines. Her nana got her started. Hi, Dinos. Let's look at the next question. What is the first thing that I crocheted? Oh, gosh. Oh, Nixie Pixie says that her grandmother tried to teach her when she was 6, which I think is a little young. But she was a lefty, so there were issues there, but she figured it out when she was 11. Barbara taught herself to crochet with a How to Teach Yourself crochet pamphlet. Neither her mom nor her sister could teach me. Wow. Okay, what was the question I just read? What is the first thing I crocheted? Oh gosh. It might have just been a washcloth, single crochets, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that felt like an accomplishment. And the next big thing it felt like was a blanket. Around about Not long after the time when I picked it up again, I became very sick. So I actually needed something to keep from being bored out of my mind. So it was good that I had already picked up the crochet. So I was making a blanket and making it very badly, in fact. I sort of wish I still had it to just examine how badly I made it. But I was so ashamed that a year later I donated it to like a homeless shelter, which is fine. I'm going to blow my nose. Yeah. That's funny. Usually announcing a sneeze will prevent the sneeze from occurring. But in this case, well, I didn't announce the sneeze, so I guess that's what happened. Oh, Barbara learned in order to have something to do at night when her firstborn was an infant, and she made her an Afghan. Pat Dancer says the first thing she crocheted was a granny square. Actually, when I was like 10 and my grandmother taught me, we made together one of those, I think it was popular at the time, caddies for your spare toilet paper roll. That was basically a hat. And then you could like flare it out at the bottom if you wanted to. But basically it was a hat for your toilet paper roll. And I've seen it done where people make, well, what they now call loveys with like doll figures or something out of the top, but it's still a hat for your toilet paper roll. And I'm not so crazy about those now. Dina says she doesn't remember the first thing she crocheted, but the first thing she knit was a blanket. Oh, Barbara made 2 chevron blankets for her other children. Oh, I love chevron blankets. I've done quite a few of those myself. So what's the next question? What is the last thing I crocheted? Well, considering I have 2 works in progress, one of which is a blue hat for my ongoing Hat Not Hate project. The other one of which is a scarf for my send crochet goods to people with greater online presence than I do and beg them to post pictures project. Let's see. The last thing I finished was my Granny D moss stitch project. It came out as a shawl. I will post pictures on Instagram either later tonight, possibly tomorrow, and I hope you will like them. Becky says the first thing she crocheted was a chain that was miles long. You're not alone in that. Oh, Soren did a flamenco dress for a doll. I'm not a bit surprised. Not at all. Let's see. The next question is, what is the last stitch or technique that I learned? Oh gosh. I've been doing it for quite some time. There's not very much that is new to me. Quite often I have to remind myself or review. Oh, hey Dana, glad to see you. Quite often I have to remind myself or review a particular stitch. I think there were a few stitches that I learned. I was doing a poncho a few months ago that was created by different tiles with different stitch types, and I learned a few new stitches that were new to me then. I think that was in November, December of last year. I really need to just take it out, rework it, or just abandon it and then take another stab at it. But there were some new stitches to me, like the alpine stitch and the, oh gosh, I don't know if I can even name some of the stitches. But some nice stitches. I like to look at YouTube tutorials for stitches, and when I save them, you click save for later. I have a category that is for stitches and a category that is for patterns. And some are only stitches, some are only patterns, and some are both. And then some get miscategorized too. But there's a lot of stuff out there. I don't even know the names of some of the stitches that I did. I really need to recreate that pattern because I think it would be something that might go well. As far as the latest thing that I learned. Let's see, what else do we have? Barbara says, you have a bear on your hook right now. Not sure what that means. Becky says she is still learning and you never stop. I would agree. I'm always learning. Barbara says she's teaching herself Tunisian, working on the honeycomb. Yes, Tunisian. That's another thing that every time I want to attempt something with Tunisian, I have to go back and review to make sure that I have the stitches right. Because there's no assurance that there's no assurance of anything. But I just need to go back and make sure I've got it right. Let's see. For those who just came in, I am answering a series of questions that were posed by Connie, also known as Just Another Stitch. She tagged me, and so I'm doing it in this live stream rather than creating a separate video. Let's see. The next question is, what are you currently crocheting and or knitting? Okay, well, I mentioned I'm always doing a hat of some sort. So this is my next blue hat. I'm also doing another one of my Hugs and Kisses scarves for one of my high-profile friends, and I'm going to send it to him and beg him to post pictures and credit me. You know how that goes. I have a few, I would call them unfinished objects going on. I haven't touched that polo shirt that I was talking about. I haven't touched it in a few weeks. I haven't touched that toddler cardigan that I was talking about. I probably need to just redo that. I also have a hexagon blanket that I just need to piece together because I've done all the pieces. I just need to stitch them together, but I can't make myself do it. And of course I have the big green monster, which is a blanket that I started and then got bored with. So that's what's on my hook right now. Cheerful, no? Let's see. Oh, yeah, Barbara, I'm not crazy about black yarn myself. Karen agrees that you're always learning. Oh, Pat is doing a scarf for the Granny D May Challenge. I might actually do something else for the Granny D Challenge. In fact, I might do a scarf myself. Or I might do something else. I don't know. I don't know. I have a lot of ideas, and if I'm lucky, I write them down, and then if I'm lucky, I actually act on them later. I guess that's how it is. That's how it is. Anyway, what is the next question? What is something that I want to learn how to crochet or knit? Let's see. Now, on my list of goals for this year, I wanted to learn Bavarian, and I made a Bavarian blanket. I wanted to learn. Okay. I wanted to learn mosaic, and I started on that toddler cardigan using mosaic. So I would like to do more with mosaic. I just want to learn to make better patterns with better fit for different body types. And I think that's a bigger goal than any particular stitch. So what is people are look it up, what? The first thing Nixie Pixie says, the first thing I remember crocheting was a scarf. It was free-handed, and then she won a ribbon in a 4-H contest. And the last stitch she learned was the inverted fan stitch from Bangladesh. Oh, hi, Whisper. Glad to see you. Oh, the dreaded crocodile stitch. You know, Pat, the crocodile stitch isn't that bad once you get used to it, just like they say that about a lot of things. But the crocodile stitch is okay. It's not that bad once you do it a few times. Let's see what the next question is. Let's see. What has been your worst frogging experience? How much time have you got? My goodness gracious. Oh, hi, Linda. Linda is trying to teach herself Tunisian, making a scarf/shawl. Oh, Linda, after Tunisian, mosaic is a piece of cake. Oh, hi, Lori. I'm so glad to see you. Hi, Jenny. Jenny, please send me an email. I might have lost your email address. But in any case, my worst frogging experience, I can think of two. Actually, one, really, was where I was doing a sweater. I think it was a sweater, where it called for two different hook types. Probably one for the waistband and the other for the body. But when I picked it up at some point in the middle, I picked up the wrong hook. And so I was going at it with the wrong hook. And after, I don't know, 20 or 30 rows, I looked at it and I said, this is not right. And there was no way to hide it. And I just had to frog all of those rows with a, I think it was probably the back panel of the sweater. I had to frog all of those rows and then redo them with the proper hook. Now, I have had other complete projects that I have frogged totally, but I don't consider those bad experiences because in the end, my intention was to find a better use for the yarn I was retrieving. Sometimes, especially if your income is limited, sometimes you have to harvest yarn where you can. Okay. Jenny, please send me an email. I can't go back to the chat. Oh, Dana, I'm not sure. Are you talking about frogging? Where you had that experience with the fit? Becky says, I had a full-size blanket in the works and didn't like the way it was turning out. Wow. PJ Shelfo, I learned to crochet mostly from Crystal from Bag of Day. She's a great teacher. I learned how to read patterns from the Crochet Crowd, another great source of knowledge. I started to crochet because my daughter taught herself to knit. Okay, that's good. That's good. Largely, I started crocheting again, or picked up crochet again, because my partner was knitting and he suggested I do it. And we became a bi-stitch-wool couple for as long as we were a couple. Let's see what the next. Oh, hi, Cindy. I didn't notice you come in, but you're welcome to lurk as long as you want. The next question, the last question, what project that you have crocheted have I been the most proud of? Oh, golly gee. Oh, it would be difficult for me to choose one that I'm the most proud of. I have made some sweaters that I myself have worn very, very proudly. I have made some blankets that, and I have a bin of blankets that I'm sending to some cousins, or possibly taking to them when we can meet in person again. And they are very nice. But gosh, it's hard to choose one project that I'm the most proud of. I have created some designs that I'm very, very pleased with. I have created some designs that are still in process that I expect to be even more pleased with when they are finalized and I can release them. Gosh, I really can't choose one. Hi, Susan Burke. So, to all of you, what projects have you been the most proud of? Let's see, what am I missing in the chat? Jenny says, my grandmother taught me how to crochet. She sat in front of me and worked my hands like she was the one crocheting. Oh, because you're a lefty. Dishcloths when you were 6. Nixie Pixie says, I just frogged an 8-ounce skein worth of work. I'm sure I won't even remember doing it in a year. Yes, of course. Oh, hi, Ricola. Oh, Jenny says a locking filet crochet Afghan. Hi, Jen Reeves. Exactly, Pat Dancer. She only chooses projects that make her happy, so she can't choose just one. Exactly. And honestly, I mean, that's why I'm sort of stalled with the Big Green Monster. If it doesn't make me happy, why am I doing it? Because believe me, no one's paying me to do it. So why am I doing it? And even if it comes out as a spectacular thing, No one's going to pay me what it's worth. Hi, Mandala Sparkle. Silver Fox loves yarn. I made a few knitted cardigans for my mom, and she loved them. Oh yes, it's great when you make a gift and the recipient loves it. Yes, yes. Is Soren still here? I don't. Anyway, I don't know. Cindy, I really love my looking for a crochet wacky weave blanket made with blood, sweat, and tears. I made what was called a wonky square blanket or Afghan, and I have pictures of it on my Instagram. And I adapted the square pattern to make my recent wonky square sweater, which is now available on Instagram or Ravelry, and you can see it on Instagram, but it's also available on Ravelry. And one of my dear friends is preparing a tutorial for that. Dana, you say my wonky square sweater is incredible. Is that what you're saying? Thank you very much. You're very kind. I think I sent you a copy of the pattern for that. Oh, Pat Dancer, broomstick lace. I have seen that demonstrated in tutorials, and it looks fascinating. I have not done it myself. Let's do this. So anyway, okay. We've been chatting for a while. And so I've gotten through my 10 questions. So we'll go back to all of the basic. Oh, thank you, Dana, for putting up that that pattern link. So basic housekeeping. First, I'm going to tell you about my weekly schedule. Today is Topic Tuesday. I do it live every Tuesday from 2 to 3. Usually we go at 3 o'clock to visit Brenda the Newbie Crocheter. Today, she has informed me she's probably not going live because she doesn't feel well. So we can go overtime a little bit. Wednesday, I do a Wednesday free-for-all at 6 o'clock Eastern. All of my times are Eastern. Immediately following Granny D, who goes live from 5 to 6 Eastern. Thursday, I do my Thwip Thursday because I can never get around to doing a Whip Wednesday. My Thwip Thursday is on 4:30 on Thursdays. I've started doing them live now rather than recording them. Fridays, I have tutorials. Saturdays, I have Shout Out Saturdays, where I shout out other people's channels and give them recognition that they deserve. Sundays, I have Sunday readings of poetry. Mondays, I have what I call Monday Shorts, which is just a 60-second video, usually a tutorial, but not always. And then we're back at Tuesday. So I basically have a video every week. And I would also ask you to subscribe and like and share and do all of that YouTube stuff. Also on Memorial Day, I'm going to do a marathon live stream, just like I did for Easter Sunday. This one I plan to be about 12 hours. Starts at either 12 or 1, I can't remember exactly, but you know, we have a little bit of time to figure that out. But it's going to be about 12 hours on Memorial Day. I will probably do another one on the 4th of July, just because, well, honestly, I enjoy them. I think they're fun. But also, it's good for the channel. I can't lie. It's good for the channel. Let's see, what am I missing in the chat? Okay, PJ has to go. I'm glad that you've been here with us. Whisper is writing out yarn bands. Whisper does beautiful yarn. She hand dyes it. Dina says goodbye. Let's see. Oh, Pet Dancer, you loved it at the time, but not again. What was it that you loved at the time? Oh. Okay. I'm missing things in the chat, but that's okay. That happens. Anyway, so we go back to, are there any of these questions that you want to keep talking about? Otherwise, we can talk about what's on your hook gun, what's in your cup. How's your day going? And how's the weather? Where are you? What's for dinner tonight? All of that fun stuff. Nightbot is so clever in talking about my highly entertaining crochet blog. Oh, honestly, I actually did mean to add the link for Brenda, because even though Brenda is not going live today, she told me she's not feeling well. We usually go to her at 3 o'clock, but I want to give you her link because she has a raffle going on with some really pretty incredible prizes, including a pattern from me. Karen says, sitting and listening while you work on knitting. Piper sweater. Okay, so I just posted Brenda's link. Go see her and look at her raffle, because she has some really great stuff. And she does an awful lot of giveaways. And the raffle is basically to raise a few bucks for the postage costs that these giveaways incur. And it's not cheap doing this stuff. I mean, there's a reason I don't do it very often. So, help Brenda out with buying some tickets, and she has some really great prizes too. What else are we talking about? Oh, excuse me. Oh. Any more comments here? Broomstick. Oh, that's what you were talking about, Pat. About the broomstick lace. I saw that demonstrated in a tutorial. I thought it looked fascinating, but I haven't tried it out yet. Oh, Liz, you're listening and crocheting. That's exactly what you should be doing. Not that I'm one to say should, but you know what I mean. Running errands with the hubby. See you all soon, yes. Well, it's been lovely having you here, Nixie Pixie. So at about 3 o'clock, we're going to close because we usually run just about an hour. Oh, Tiger Dragon Girl says she hasn't seen any sunshine. There's a song in that, but I'll let it go. Mostly for copyright reasons. Even sunshine. Anyway, Gina says she has to run and do some errands. Yeah, we all have to, just move on with our lives at 3 o'clock. So about 3 o'clock, we're gonna call it quits. But I'm certainly glad that you've all joined me here. I really enjoy these live streams. Don't forget, I have another one tomorrow at 6 o'clock Eastern. I have one on Thursday at 4:30 Eastern. That's my live stream schedule. I also have recorded videos every other day of the week, and occasionally I will do spontaneous live streams or unscheduled recorded videos on top of that. I do have a live stream scheduled for Memorial Day, which is May 31st, and that's going to be, I think it's 12 to 12. I have to double check that. I think it's 12 to 12, noon to midnight. Oh, Granny says there's a storm a-brewing. Didn't you have storms yesterday? Oh, Tiger Dragon Girl says John Denver wrote Sunshine on My Shoulders while battling depression. I have such memories of that song, of friends performing that song. But anyway, Granny, I thought you had bad weather yesterday, right? That's what I heard. Yesterday it looked a little gloomy around here. Today it looks pretty sunny. I haven't been outside yet though. Oh, Granny, I'm glad you loved my Sunday reading. I hope that everyone will go and look at it if you haven't seen it already. And even if you have, I hope you'll view it again, because we're talking hours here, people. We need hours. Dino says, do you be safe and charge your devices? Yes. Oh. Granny, somebody said something about storms in the Charlotte area, and I know you're just north of Charlotte. We didn't have storms yesterday. So anyway, it looks like we're all sort of dribbling out of the room. So I need to just let you all go. I'm going to just call it a day. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm really glad you're here. And as always, I would say subscribe, like, comment, share, anything you want to do, all that YouTube stuff. And keep coming back. And thanks ever so. Bye-bye.